technology was we lost the whole Sunday morning meeting. I went back to listen to his message. It's gone. In Jesus. So this is part 2. Let's welcome one of our drummers here and percussion man, James Cook. Yeah. Turn some lights on for you, James.
I don't need them.
Don't need them? Okay.
Well, good morning. Still morning, yes. I did not ask to speak. I will let you know that. I will never, ever ask Richard if I can come speak. It just kind of... Actually, what happened, he called me the other day, and I was sending a text to my wife. I'll read you the text I was sending. Just it's kind of ironic how this all happened. But I was texting her. I said, "We walk in favor with the Lord. Our faith is in Him, not our ability." And while that Richard's calling me, he's asking me if I have anything to preach on. I'm like, nope, I don't got nothing. And then I tell my wife, she's like, "Oh, is that your sermon title for what Richard wants you to speak on?" And I'm like, so it's being obedient, something I'm working on, trying to be obedient always. But I mean that. I walk in favor. Like, I can see it every day. To the point when issues come, I get excited. Like, my wife would be panicking about something. I'm like, "Oh, this is good. We're all right. Don't worry about it. We walk in favor." But it's something I've been saying this over and over again to myself, favor. I walk in favor. And I notice over years, like, there's certain words that will stick out, like faithfulness. I walk in faithfulness. God's faithful to me. That was something I didn't believe for a while. I didn't think He was faithful to me because I looked at my situation and I was literally blinded by that. I could see my issues and I couldn't see where God was working through it. But now I got past that, where I realized I am in favor every single day. Just like you all are in favor every single day. I'm just going to pull the scriptures on my phone because it's a little easier. Just a second. I don't consider myself a preacher, so I am not organized, so bear with me. I love Romans. I'm going to pull Romans 8, in case you want to see it. Some good stuff in there. And if it doesn't get you excited, I'm like, man, I'm sorry for you. Romans 8, where is it? "15 said, for you have not received the spirit of slavery, leading to fear again, but ye received a spirit of adoption as sons, by which we cry out, Abba, Father. The Spirit Himself testifies with our spirit that we are children of God. And if children, heirs also." That's been a word sticking out to me lately. Being an heir. You have rule, you have authority to reign. I mean, it's powerful. That's who we are. Heirs of God and fellow heirs with Christ, if indeed we suffer with Him, so that we may also be glorified with Him. I'm going to go a little bit more. "I am convinced that any suffering we endure is less than nothing compared to the magnitude of glory that is about to unveil itself within us. The entire universe is standing on tiptoe, yearning to see the unveiling of God's glorious sons and daughters. For against its will, the universe itself has had to endure the empty futility resulting from the consequences of human sin. Now, with eager expectation, all creation longs for freedom from its slavery to decay and to experience with us the wonderful freedom coming to God's children. We walk in favor." Carol was saying earlier that she prayed for a guy in the community, right? And you're like, "Why? I'm not worthy enough to really do this. I'm not that level." But you never were. So you have favor. We were never good enough to do it anyways. We never had it by our strength. I love the fact that, that are nothing of ourselves, Christ died for us. So I used to think, I grew up in church, so I had this expectation of what I had to achieve before I was okay. And then, thank God that's a lie. Because with this relationship, this covenant that we have, it's not based on our works. It's like God moving through us. We are his speakers, you know. Anywhere we go, we do have authority. Oftentimes we're praying for God, send someone. God's like, I sent you. It's that simple. Send someone, Lord, but God's like, I sent you. You are my mouthpiece. You can speak to this situation. This storm is not the problem. You're looking at the wrong thing. I put, like Mark, you're saying that God put you in that situation, right? The fact that it's a major storm. The favor of God was still with you in the hospital. Like, I remember when we went and saw you, Ryan and I, and it's just like, you could tell the favor of God was all over Mark. Something else, some people know I like to play piano sometimes. I'm not like a piano player. I just like to do it just by myself. But I like to use that as a time when I'm praying. And was it 2 months ago at your parents' house? About 2 months ago, we did a worship night at Victoria's parents' house. It was like a little melody I played. I was like, oh, I like that. So I started playing it at home. And I'm going to read you what came to my mind as I was playing it. Actually, the phone. It's easier. Quicker. Got all my notes right here. So we all know the story of the prodigal son, but what stuck out to me is the way the father was in that. So it's Luke 15, verse 20. And this is the prodigal son getting ready to go back to his father. Oh, my bad. I just got yelled at by the sound guys because I held the mic the wrong way. My apologies. So it says, so he got up and came to his father. But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and felt compassion for him, and ran and embraced him and kissed him. And the son said to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and in your sight. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. But here's what's great. The father was even listening to that. The son's talking about all he did wrong. The father does not care. He's like, this is my son. My son has favor. My son's an heir. He goes on, the father says, right after that, to his slaves, quickly bring out the best robe and put it on him, and put a ring on his hand and sandals on his feet, and bring the fattened calf, kill it, and let us eat and celebrate. For this son of mine was dead and has come to life again. He was lost and has been found, and they began to celebrate. I don't know about you guys, that gets me excited. Because I've doubted in myself. I have a whole lot of confidence sometimes now. As a child, I had confidence, but there's times where I didn't believe that this is who our Father is, that I am the Son of God. Jesus literally died for me, and he's given me authority. Amen. Man, I see it every day. I work in insurance. Who wants to work in insurance? Like, I challenge the leadership all the time, just because if I don't agree with what they're doing. And somehow I have so much favor where they are always calling, making sure I'm happy, I'm okay. Actually, many people know a few months ago I left a job during this great economy that we have. And I was excited. And when I was leaving, I remember my supervisor was angry because he's like, you are the leader of this team. You are my best guy. I can't lose you. Well, I mean, he never had me in the first place, but the fact is, there's just so much I know that I've called on me and in my life I'm walking out each and every day, but I see it on all of you in here too. We hear the testimonies. I see, Tony, I see what you're doing from afar. I'm like, man, this is amazing. He's walking in favor. He's just doing it. You just believe. Amen. I'm very thankful for this community. Because I know there's so many people out there who have lost their identity, you know. They don't really know who they are. It's very evident if you look in the political realm. There's people who do not know who they are. But I've found who I am because I've found Christ. And it's like nothing else matters anymore. Years ago, I remember I was writing, and I wrote a note to me and the Lord just saying, God, I'm blinded by what I see. I'm looking at my situations. I'm not looking at you. I am thankful for every obstacle now that comes my way. I mean, my wife will tell you, I get excited about stuff, and she might be panicking. She takes a little time on some things. That's okay, though. But that's how God comes through every time. Like, he's so faithful. Amen. I don't have a plan B. I don't operate that way because I'm a son.
Amen. Amen.
Man, that's actually all I got, guys.